Why, hello.
What's happening, Insta?
We are back. We are back. Look at this. This is a whiz new bang Facebook. How cool is that? All right. Well, we're on it.
We are.
Yes, Lockdown with the Loshies,
We're
episode
here.
2. We're so excited to be locked down with you all tonight for hopefully not too long. We don't want to keep you too long, but we do have some, we think, are pretty important things to share.
Some valuable information that might help.
Yes, some valuable info. We've had a pretty big year, if we're being honest, and in the last 7 days since our last little live with you guys in regards to understanding your man, what that sort of did was for us was just spark some general conversations about, why, certain things are happening, why we're feeling certain ways, and we honestly just wanted to come to you today and share with you a little bit more about where we're at with listening to your body, your mind, and your soul, and how you can really harness in at this time to tune in to where you're at, where you want to go, where you want to be, and really use all the tools that you have under your belt from the comfort of your own home to really progress forward in the next 24 hours, 48 hours, the next week, the next month, whatever it looks like for you. So, hi Leanne. Love you too. I'm Bianca, the Feel Good Mama, and I love helping women and families, who want more for themselves to elevate in their health and show them how they can replace their full-time income, just like I did almost 5 years ago. And this is my darling husband, Anthony, and together, we make a pretty good couple, I would say. But we just wanted to share from experience. We're not sharing from any other place other than experience. We would not go and tell you or share what we're up to or what we're doing on a daily basis if we had not put it into practice ourselves.
100%.
So we've been talking about enjoying the pause, and I loved how you stated this because last week you got made redundant. Today's day 6 at home. And you'd think we'd be like mortified about it, but in reality, we're like loving it because he gets to mind the kids and help me with the kids every day. Like I'm loving it. He's been cooking for me. I'm loving it.
It's been fun, and I think Bianca just hit it on the head there. I was sitting on the couch, and it was the other day or whatever. I was sitting on the couch, and Bianca was doing something in the kitchen and talking to someone. And I was just like, you just got to enjoy the pause.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It was like it was a throw out comment, but thinking about it, enjoying the pause, our day-to-day life, I have a feeling or a sense now that we're not, or at least to this point, we haven't been enjoying the pause. And it's just like, everyone that you speak to, everyone that you meet, it's pretty much the same stuff. You know what I mean? Everyone's flat chat, everyone's doing their own thing, and it really doesn't matter whether they've got families, whether they don't have families. It's like everyone's just seems to be under the pump, whether it's busy being busy or busy for a purpose. It's just busy. And really, this moment in time, I feel has created this enjoying the pause, in this moment of stopping. Do you know what I mean?
But with the pause has come this concept that we were talking about. I was trying to describe to Anthony in my mind. Like yesterday, I was just in all sorts. I was like just not feeling myself. And the way that we described it was monkey mind. Like you're like a monkey that is going all the time. How did you describe it? Like what was do your little visual? Did you do like, like it's just like.
Yeah, all over the joint.
Yes, Leanne, you don't know how distracted you are until you're actually distracted. And I was just like all over the place. And when you like said, oh, that's like monkey mind, I was like, yes. And I don't feel like I'm the only one that has that. And the only way what I was saying was like, okay, you grab onto a thought that you've most likely created yourself, like it's a story that you've created about how you feel about something, for example, and then it just literally spirals out of control and it just gets like this big like snowball. And I just couldn't like put my mind to rest. And he's like, yeah, monkey mind, monkey mind, monkey mind. It's almost like you have done a 20K run and you're just like, you're dead. Like you don't know how to function. You don't know where you're going. You just like a dead weight. And it's just the emotion and the energy that's running through your body. Like, and I'm like, how can and I have all the tools and I know what to do to get out of that. But sometimes you need someone else, just like we spoke about last week, to look outside of the frame and tell you. And I've got a few people that I can do that with, and that I can outlet to and genuinely get their honest opinion about where I'm at and how I can move forward. But maybe not all of us have that. But we were speaking about this yesterday, about the monkey mind theory, and you just end up in this rabbit hole, and you just feel absolutely exhausted when you get there.
100%. And all of the things that Bianca's talking about now, what the discussion was really around morning meditation. And it's just like, it's one of those things. It's probably cliche at the moment because everyone's talking about morning meditation and how good it is and blah, 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 blah. But the reality of it is, the reason why people are like, F that, I don't want to meditate, is because monkey mind. Because you can sit there and you can just ramble all day long. Like the mind can take over, the ego can take over, problems can take over. And the reality of it is, until you sit there, like Bianca said, in that emotion, you really can't move past that point, because you need to get through that emotion and exhaustion to get to a point where you can be like, all right, no worries, now I can take a pause. Because we want to talk about getting to the pause and getting to some purpose. But if you don't get over your own stuff right now, if you can't enjoy the pause, how do you move forward?
Yeah.
So that's where, the other day yesterday when you started with the morning meditation.
And I thought my day was going to run so smoothly because I got up earlier than the girls, and I sat on the balcony. I was listening to the birds. I was wrapped in my dressing gown with my beautiful Kmart mink, hi Lauren, all the way from Hong Kong. The mink blankets from, well, they're not really mink, but like the furry blankets from Kmart. It was all snug, and I did the meditation, but my head was like not in the meditation. And I'm like, nah, because I've done it, my day is going to run so smoothly, and I'm going to just, go with the flow. And it just didn't turn out like that at all. And It's almost like a reflection of our whole last year, but we'll talk about that in another episode. But today is specifically on enjoying the pause with purpose. And the intention is really, like we said earlier, it's just to get clear. If you're clear on what you want to feel, if you're clear on how you want to, carry yourself, then that helps.
Yeah, of course. And that's where, we were talking about like purpose, something to set forward. Do you know what I mean? Because really, if you're out of your routine at this point, we're like, okay, everything's up in the air. It doesn't matter about anything. But no. Really, everything, if you had it set clearly, like your goals and purpose and, whatever you wanted to achieve, if you had all that set, the point is you can really move on with your life, still enjoying the pause, but, like you're calculating for your next step. And you're not really, it doesn't matter how long it really takes, because you know where your next move is and you know when you can take it. And now it's just a matter of enjoying the moment. So whether you do your, this is enjoying the moment, but, the whole body and the mind thing. So maybe the meditation, maybe the breath work can start you getting out of the monkey mind and getting into the body. And when you do get into the body and you do get into some kind of movement, that's where we were at, like, okay, maybe now we can move through, that sort of dead emotion, or, something that's trapped inside, and you can start that morning movement to help you get through the day. And this is what we're saying. You know what I mean? Like little things that you can do in the morning to help you start.
But it doesn't just have to be in the morning. One of my great friends always tells me I just go back to bed. Like if I just want to start the day again, just go back to bed and choose to start your day. And why can't we all just do that? I could have done that. And I think, if we go back and look at the last 12 months, like if we're being really honest and vulnerable with you guys, like we've had a tough year from a perspective of a mentally tough year, not anything else, and emotionally, I'd say. Ayla was born, it would be 1 year Yes, that's you, Chris Valet. I'm talking about. Go back to bed and reset.
That's a good one.
I know it's a good one. I do listen to you. That's for sure. Yeah, she'll be 1 on the 8th of April, and that pregnancy was a huge surprise to Anth and I. Well, it was a surprise. It wasn't planned, and that set me off. And from that point, that was in August 2018 that we found out we were having her. By April last year, it was a month about before she was born. She actually came a month. And I honestly, I didn't come to terms with it until about a week before I had her. And she came unexpectedly very early. And when I had her and I held her in my arms, all I could feel was guilt, like massive, massive guilt. But from that moment, I almost punished myself for this whole, like it was maybe last week that I stopped I just snapped out of it and I'm like, nah. And I'm a very focused, like progress driven person. I have a lot of desire. I know what I want to achieve. We've got our vision board. We know what we want, but I could not help but let the emotion take over me. I could not help but feel, disabled in a way from moving and taking progressive steps that I wanted to take to achieve things. And what it came down to for me, this realization I had last week, yes, I still am, I guess, from postnatal depression. It pops up every now and then. And when I say it pops up, it's just an emotional roller coaster. And yes, I've been to the doctors about it. And yes, I've got a referral to see a psych. Have I actually taken that step yet 100%? No. But what I have realized is that writing things down and getting your emotions out really does help. So when we talk about listening to your mind and your body, what I actually discovered was that I was beating myself up mentally, the monkey mind stuff, on a daily basis because I could not operate at the level that I wanted to operate at. I know what my full potential looks like, and so do you. And if you can't physically, mentally, emotionally plug yourself in to do the stuff on a daily basis that you usually do, and this is depression in all sense of the word. Like if you suffered from any form of anxiety, depression, you know that it's crippling and that you physically cannot take a step that you want to take. So your mind's like, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this, but there's something within you that you just can't do. You can't take that step. So to be sitting up, cooped up on a couch, you don't want to be when you know that you could be doing what this for your business or this for this person. I couldn't be anything to anyone before I could be what I needed to be for myself. And that's where this sort of discussion stemmed from a point of you can control your thoughts, like 100% you can. But when you're in that rabbit hole, sometimes you feel like you can't get out of it, but you can surrender to them. Did you want to talk about that?
Well, you actually just put something in my mind just then. Slightly off topic, but I'll entertain it. I'll entertain it because it's actually a really important part. Because one thing that I actually did say to Bianca, it might have been a couple of weeks ago. It was an acknowledgement of the place that she was in because I could feel the disconnect. And when I could feel the disconnect, I think, like, even from the other person, the other spouse's point or position, you're like, let me fix it, let me help you. But then I thought to myself, in the moment, I've been in that position, and the reality of it is you can only help yourself in that moment. You can take a whole bunch of concepts from people, but until you have the realization, nothing's going to move from that point. So the only thing that I said to Bianca is that I'm aware of where you're at. I'm here if and when you need, but I'm happy to give you your space. And at that moment, I think you
goes beautifully into what we're about to talk about.
I think you broke down in that moment because it was just like, when Bianca started off the call saying about the soul, when someone is in connection with someone else and you can feel where they're at, and trust me, I get it wrong a lot of the time. But in that moment, that was enough.
Yeah.
that was enough in that moment to just acknowledge where Bianca was at.
I didn't said thank you. I just said thank you.
Yeah, just thank you. And it was no more. There was no more discussion about it. And I think a couple of days later, maybe she felt a little bit better because it's just it's ups and downs, it's emotions. It is what it is. But you bring up a valid point because being in your body is one thing, but then also in the environment that you're at, you're almost in someone else's body. You can, when you're in such close proximity with people,
24/7.
you're in their space. So if there's something not right, it's worth acknowledging it. It's worth having a chat about it, or not having a chat about it. It's just the acknowledgement of that. I think that was important.
That was beautiful. Thank you.
I think that was important in that moment. For this was more about the body and the mind getting a grasp or a hold of that.
Yeah. So let's give you some, I guess, what can you do to get yourself out of, to start listening to the whispers? There's a whole nother topic that we can go into, but that's just a whole nother story. And we'll keep all that stuff for take you through slowly, like point by point here. Things that you can do, like a philosophy that we've adopted is for parents, maybe we do this to, what was the word I used earlier? To, what was I saying? What was I saying about it? It's okay.
Oh, it's all good.
Oh, yeah. No, but what was I saying about it? It was, slipped my mind now. It's gone. Don't worry about it. We've got this philosophy and it's like, it's okay. It's okay. And it's not about not acknowledging or taking responsibility for what's actually happening or what your actions or emotions are causing you to do. It's more about it's okay to give yourself permission if you feel disaligned, if you are not, that your heart, mind, body, you're not connected, you can't take that step forward. Whether you're suffering from postnatal depression, anxiety, depression or not, like you can just have an off day, right? And I know being cooped up at the moment is sending everyone a little bit loopy because they're just not used to the pause. And if you want to enjoy the pause a little bit more, like, yes, yesterday was an off day, and yes, we've had some off days here and there, but the it's okay philosophy, they're giving yourself permission to literally, like, to have some alone time, to go up to your room or go for the walk by yourself, to just switch off, to watch that trashy TV show for 15 minutes with your kids on the iPad and not feel guilty about that. Like, just to take the time to actually listen to what you need to do, to have that nap on the couch if you need to have the nap. Like, you spoke earlier today about pushing things, like pushing and pushing and pushing, and then you don't get to the destination you want to get to anyway because you've pushed so hard that it's almost just crumbled to pieces because you pushed so goddamn hard.
It never works.
So when we talk about like living in the flow of life, we are not saying that our life is flowy on a daily basis, but we are saying that we always take it back to that because whatever little hump or challenge hits us, or, whether that be like a physical challenge or like you lose your job challenge or what it is, I'm talking about the things that feel hard. Like it's okay. Give yourself permission. Like, go to the toilet by yourself and lock yourself in there, mums, if you need to do that. Go have 3 showers a day if you need to do that. Like, do what you need to do in order to get yourself back. Go back to bed and reset if you need to. And I'm not saying that this can be done all the time, but there are things that that get you again. Listening to that, putting the music on and listening to that song that gets you back into state. That works for me.
Andy Grammer, good to be alive right now.
Yeah, that's the song.
Seems to work right now.
Good to be alive right about now. Reminds you, right? And all the kids, like all the girls know it, and they just like, well, Ayla does this, like she does like a little bop,
bit of a bop,
because she knows like what that song is. Like they've heard it so many times. It's like that's what I need to do to get myself back. Like just it elevates your it gets what's the happiness, the endorphin, the hormone. Your hormones, right? It just gets me back there. You love getting out in nature.
Yeah. So I was going to share, this is a big one for me, and I'm almost going to say, if not all, most people. There's this concept that I heard from Paul Chek, which is called working in and working out. Now, everyone knows the whole, the work out part. Like, I feel like everyone, whether they like it or whether they don't, It doesn't matter whether you like workouts or not. But the point to this, what I'm trying to say here is listening to the mind and the body. When do you need to work out? When do you need to work in? So sometimes you've got so much pent up stuff inside of you that you need to release it. You do need to work out. You do need to go lift some heavy shit up, or you got to go, run, do some sprints, or do some burpees. Really exhaust the body, however that may be in this lockdown or in normal gym life or whatever. But one thing that not a lot of people do or acknowledge is when they need to work in. So everyone knows the whole. Basically, if you can take this concept, working in, imagine these exercises could be done after eating on a full stomach. So, a long, slow walk, or really slow squats, or some Tai Chi, or some Yin Yoga, like really light exercises. These are the working in exercises. Now, when you're in close proximities in your house, you can go into a little corner. I'm sitting on the exercise ball right now. You can see me heaps of times just, putting it up against the wall and doing some gentle squats.
Rolling on the foam roller.
Rolling on the foam roller. Working in. Like, what I'm saying is there's a whole bunch of things that we can do to move the body to, get out of that little funk, but in a physical way. Do you know what I mean? Like, sometimes if it's all in the mind, you want to get back into the body. And, like I said, working in and working out, it's actually a really good concept to help you move forward, listening to your body, because this is the whole point. You actually do need to pause to listen and be like, well, what is my body asking for right now? Do you know what I mean? Do I need to go and smash myself, or do I not? Perfect example. The other day, I thought to myself that I should have done yoga downstairs. And then I thought, I'm a tough guy. I'm going to go smash out a run. And literally, I got like 300 meters up the road and like, bang, calf went. And it was just like, you should have listened. Do you know what I mean? And this is, Bianca was talking about it today. She's been saying it all day about listening to these whispers. The reality of it is the whispers are there all the time.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of when we listen to it and when we don't. And then it's just like what Bianca's saying is we're not perfect. We get this wrong all the time. But we can be aware enough to get back into our flow, to get back into an alignment to where we need to be, to get back into the purpose and, what we want to do.
Yeah. Great way to describe it, ladies, is like, and if you're like Chris, if you're single, like this might not happen for you, but when like your laundry is in order and where the clean clothes are, where the dry clothes are, and then your darling husband comes in or your partner comes in and they've just like mixed up the clothes and you're like, what have you done? Like that's your flow. Then you've got out of your flow and then you just get back in flow by being like, thank you, acknowledging what they're trying to do to help, acknowledging where you're at emotionally, and then just fix it. And it's, we spoke about this last week, just spend most of your time working on what it is you want to work on. And the only way you can be that next best version of yourself and step into your true potential and feel the way you want to feel is by acknowledging those moments. So the last couple of things, like what we did the other day, we had a little pretend camp out in the backyard to connect with nature, got out of that modern day buzz for us, even with activities and so forth having died down a little bit. Journal, write something, read something, pick up a book, whether that be on a Kindle or on your iPhone. Like I know we're all attached to our phones, but picking up a physical book feels good. It feels really good.
Bianca's hit it on the head there, and she knows I'm massive about, the thing that she said there, like nature, the camping, writing something down and reading. The reality of it is I know we're all on social media platforms right now, but it's the stimulus that creates it creates the you're on the wheel and you're just going around. All the lights are smacking you from every different direction. Everything's going crazy, and circadian rhythm just wants to make you like go to sleep. So the reality of it is, I was saying this to Bianca the other day. If I sit down and try and read, I'll fall asleep. You know what I mean? Like, so if what you said, Chris, go back to bed. Hey, if you need to go back to bed, go back to bed. But the point is, if you can get back to nature, ground down to the floor, You know, the whole camping thing was just, you know, something fun for the kids. But writing or reading, getting back to, you know, having a candle there and not having all, you know, artificial lights, it brings the body back into alignment of, you know, the way that the body's meant to work.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So if you had, you know, normal sleeping patterns or, you know, as much as possible.
That's our next tip as parents. Like if you can, with the kids, we've got a bedtime between 9:30 and 10:30. So we've got another hour leeway because that gives us still time with the circadian rhythm stuff that we were talking about earlier today, to wake up that 30 to 40 minutes before the kids to go and do that meditation. And, you know, there are so many different ways that you can do that. And that's something definitely that I definitely know I need to work on. It was just a lot running through my mind at this point in time. But you know, looking at a candle, staring at the candle and the flame flicker as you have a hot tea by yourself with 5 minutes of peace can be your meditation. Like whatever you need to do first thing in the morning. You were up early this morning. He told our eldest daughter that he was going to the toilet. He was really downstairs doing yoga, which is great. Like he had to tell a little white lie to get it done.
That's incorrect. Whoa.
And she stayed in bed. So it worked to his advantage.
That's incorrect. I didn't lie to her. I just said just stay there because then she would have been all over me doing my yoga.
Using the toilet apparently for half an hour. Anyway, so that's our tips. If you can, go to bed between 9:30 and 10:30. Gives you time to wake up before the kids and just have that 5, 10 minutes, 30 minutes of peace. Does that happen for us all the time? No. Do we want to hit the snooze button sometimes? Yes. But when we do it, it does feel good. Like it does feel good. And like I said, not all days are going to flow. But what we're getting across to you guys is that it can, if you choose for it to go back to the flow. Like our philosophy, the it's okay philosophy. Like it's okay. It's no problem. We can get back to where we want to be. And knowing, I think, for each other as partners within a relationship, having those positive associations. They say, you know, you are the average of the 5 people you hang around with. Look at who you're associating with. If you want to have more positivity in your life and not so much negative, then, you know, have that friend that you can call on who's going to tell you the truth. He's going to say, this is what you need to do to get back to this. And we're lucky that we have that. And that we've got some people around us that can support us through that as well. Journaling, reading, if you need any journaling prompts, we can help you with that. If you need any books that, you know, you're looking for the next self-help book or personal development book, we can definitely help you with our library that we've got there. But for now, I think it's peace out.
Definitely.
Anything else you need to add?
No.
No.
Just we're here. That's it.
We're here in lockdown. Well, not lockdown, isolation, but we're locking down together to give you guys some good value.
We're going to lock down with you.
Well,
bye-bye.
Bye.